Hello there, my YouTube family. How are you? Thank you for joining me on this beautiful morning. I am Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your emails. Thank you. Thank you for those of you who subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do and push the bell. And anytime I upload new content, you will be the first one to know. And I upload new content very frequently. So thank you so very much. As I promised in the last episode, that I will do another video on gaslighting, because it's one of the favorite use of the narcissist, because it brings you in question of your intellect, of your memory. It makes you question your reality. Many people have had nervous breakdown after they was just subjected to this psychological torment that made them unsure of themselves. It took away their confidence, and they were so insecure until they didn't know what was real and what was not real, because the narcissist would do something, then deny it. He would say something, she would say something and deny it, and they would get a group of people, or when they were gain them, and they would say different things to them, and they would get a group of people to say and echo. The echo system of the narcissist is when they got a group of people saying the same thing, and they're saying the same thing around that supply until the supply doubt themselves. They don't even know what's real and what's not real, because the first thing the supply will say is everybody can be wrong. Everybody is not saying the same thing and they are wrong. Then something must be wrong with me. Once you question your sanity, your reality, your truth, when you have seen it, when you have heard it, when you've read it, when you know it, but you give that up because now the predator, the way they believe, becomes your system of belief. And it is psychological torture. It tortures your memory. It's hard on your memory because it sends such confusion that many people go into mental delay, go into a hostage situation mentally, where your thoughts are held hostage and you don't even know the keys to free your own mind because of something the narcissists say. And the only way you can't contend with them, because they're set in their ways, they're set in their mindset, they're not going to ever admit it. And when it does, and when they do admit it, it's a mockery. It's not real truth. And admitting that there was wrong, it's enough truth to get you more confused, and you are so fogged in your mind until you get away from the reality and you start not touching things because you're so unsure. And it has a social impact, because soon, if you let that go into your mind, go into your head, that is the truth, then you're not going to want to be around people, because you can't trust yourself. You can't trust yourself to know things. The narcissist will see you put something down with nobody in the house but little kids and you, and move it. And you're looking like, I know I put that there. And the narcissist will tell you, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. Why are you accusing me? You must have not put that there, because if you had to put that there, that would still be there. Nobody's here for us. Jason, Carol, or whoever, they're too small for that. You are psychologically, something is wrong with you psychologically. You need to go see a therapist. You need help. I'm tired of you doing this. You always accusing me. You're always forgetting. You're always not remembering. And you got to be really strong to fight against this constant badgering of your mind, of your memory, of your reality. And a lot of time the narcissist lives in an alternate reality. Now they're transferring their nature onto you. What I mean, their natural course of thinking, because they live in an unreality. They want you to live in an unreality. reality. They dismantle truth, and they don't want your truth to not be dismantled. They're going to dismantle your strength, cause you to be discombobulated, and you don't know whether you're going and coming, and you have children, and the next thing you know, you're on all these drugs to calm you down, to bring you to a peace, to get, because your nerves, they are shot, because you don't know what reality is. And so you slowly deteriorate, and it's like a transfer of your strength, a transfer of your youthfulness, a transfer of your energy, your goals. Go to the narcissist, and you start depleting away. And once you start believing gaslighting, what you're going to notice is you start living in shame. You will now start to isolate. You are now starting to hide out. And what the narcissists want is to get that control, and you are giving that control. The only way to fight this is to fight it knowing in confidence. When the narcissist disputed, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. You know I wouldn't do that. You know that's not me. Why do you accuse me? Did your friend do that? Did your friend tell you to do that? Oh, you're cheating on me. And now you're trying to accuse me because you're cheating on me. And usually the narcissists tell off on themselves. If they're cheating, they accuse you of cheating. If they are doing things, they accuse you of the same thing. Oh, you're overspending. So because you overspent, now you're trying to talk to me. Now you're trying to accuse me to cover up your irresponsibility financially. That wasn't even part of the conversation. The narcissist is telling off on themselves. And then you go check your bank, and you realize, where did all this money go? And he said, where did this money go? He said, what money? I don't know where it went. You tell me. You the one got the bank account, but he has access to the bank account also. He said, well, see, like I'm telling you, you can't even trust your memory. You are spending money, you are consuming money, and you can't even remember. You go to the bank, and you see the narcissist made a withdrawal. And you say, you made the withdrawal. He said, no, I didn't. You told me to go make that withdrawal, and I put the money on the dresser. Just like you lost the keys. You done lost $1,200. You have lost $800. You've lost $3,000, and you know you haven't had 3,000, but you have constantly heard, and what he's doing is transcribing your mind. I got a video on the narcissist transcription and mind override, and that's what the narcissist does. He overrides your sanity, your sane mind that knows the truth, your sane mind, your intellectual mind, and your mind have the ability to think and to rationalize, and he overrides that until now you are just fog walking around because you believe the predator, you believe the tormentor, and because you're now isolated because you was trying to figure out what was reality and what wasn't reality. Now the narcissist could cheat right in front of you, and you see it, but you don't believe what your eyes see. You can't trust your sensory. And the next thing you know, you're nervous, your stomach is upset, you're sweating, your hormonal level is off, you're having heart palpitation, you're having pain, you don't know where the pain is coming from, the doctor don't know where the pain is coming from, you don't sleep, everything, somebody drop a pin on the carpet, you almost jump like a cat, jump when they see a cucumber. I mean, you jump to the other room, and the phone ring, and you don't hear the phone. Now there's PTSD because instead of hearing the phone ring, you hear like a fire truck is going off. I mean, everything is amplified when you are in this state, and you're nervous, and you're trying to put your colors together. You're dealing with headaches. You close the blind because the sun hurt your eyes. The noise, you want the kids quiet, the noise, and now you're impatient with the kids, and then you're talking on the phone. You don't want to talk to family. You don't want to talk to friends because you feel like you're losing your mind. You need to see a professional. See a professional therapist that specialize in trauma, that specialize in narcissists, because in order for you to get the correct assistant, you need someone to specialize, knowing what a narcissist is capable of, knowing what they will do, and they will understand the trauma. Because if you get a therapist that does not understand the nature NPD, then they're going to think something is wrong with you, and then now you are re-victimized, but it's now in a medical arena, and you are being victimized because now the doctor is saying something wrong with you, the husband saying something wrong with you, and then the friends call you, are you okay? And then the family call, are you okay? And then you finally resolve that something must be wrong with me. Absolutely not. This is why when you go into gaslighting, you got to write things down. You got to use tape recorders, and you don't doubt your truth. No matter how the narcissist come, you know the truth. The Bible said you should know the truth, and the truth shall make you, make. That word is palagenesia. It will design a truth. It will always bring you out to the wind nature of those of you who have philosophies from a higher power. The truth, the power of truth can stand, but you have to prove to you, because every part of you is being challenged by someone that you love, someone that you care for, someone that you should trust. And now this traumatizing is coming in, and you have doubt. You live a life of doubt. And many of you that are Christians and you live a life of doubt, you know those two doesn't associate well. They don't connect well. So now you don't trust yourself. You no longer go to church. You no longer fellowship. And before you know it, you'll start blaming other people. And you will blame other people, but you won't blame the narcissist, because now your truth is coming from the narcissist manual. And their manual is to make sure your insecurity is at the highest level. And the narcissist will say, if you love me, why are you doing this to me? Why are you tormenting me? The narcissist will tell you actually the stages that represent gaslighting. And those of you, there is a gaslighting and hoovering. The narcissist would say, you know, you was best with me. You know that when I was with you, how we made it. You know that. You know that when you left me, you didn't leave him. He discarded you. And he said, you know that when you left me, you ran off from me, and you knew you were the only one I ever loved. I have not done well since I've left you, or since you left me. I am not fare well. I think about you all the time. Gaslighting. And now he's making you feel guilty that he discarded you. And the next thing you know, you are back. And then what you find is the same pattern. Once you get out of the love bombing stage, and a lot of times when the narcissists bring you back in, they suck you back in. That's what hoovering is, to suck you back in. When they suck you back in to a gaslight hoovering by telling you everything that was wrong was your fault, and that if you would just allow them again, I mean, they telling you that it's your fault. But if you're used to gaslighting, and you've been gaslighted all this time, you've been 7 years, 5 years, 10 years, now that same frequency start humming in your memory bank, and then that transcription start that overload and override. So now you're overriding that you don't remember the pain. You don't remember that once they left, you felt more free than ever before. I mean, your heart rate went down. You start losing weight. You start looking good. You start sleeping. You went back to work. The kids are doing good. And then now those overrides start to come, and those familiar feelings start to come. And when the narcissists come, that spirit of persuasion start rising up in you and start taking over. So now you got a gaslighted Hoover. And this gaslighted Hoover is to make you feel like something is wrong with you, to be without them. So now you're feeling guilty. And if it's the religious narcissist, you really have to watch the religious narcissist, because they will use the Bible to beat you over your head and try to traumatize you. The Bible said that God hate divorce. Yeah, but the Bible also said God hate you abusing me. And so what happened, they won't think of the abuse. I've never abused you. I've only loved you. You bring the craziness out of me, and then you blame me. You know I'm wild about you. You know I can't make it. Even all your friends say that I was good to you. Even everybody. And then you think, oh, everybody's thinking I'm a bad person. Maybe I need to go back to them to prove to everybody that I'm not a bad person. Then all of a sudden those overrides start to come into overload systems. And what they do is overload system of wisdom, overload your memory, overload system of understanding, understanding. And the next thing you know, you've been overridden. And so those overrides, those subscriptions of all those familiar tones, all those familiar frequencies start coming in your life. And the next thing you know, boom, you right back there. And then you wake up and say, this is the reason. This is the reason I didn't want to come back. This is the reason I was so happy to be away. When he discarded me, it was a blessing. And then you start thinking about escaping. And once the narcissist picked it up, they think, you know what? You think God is going to be pleased with you. You think God is going to be satisfied with you. Here you are, a Christian. Here you are, a woman of God. As a matter of fact, there was a time they didn't want you to go to church. Now you can't even miss church. They are just almost commanding you to go to church. Why? Because they're going to use that religious teaching that God did never say, and God is not that, but they're going to use that religious teaching to hold you hostage to them, because the Bible said God hates divorce. You know, God wants us married. God wants us to be a family. We got kids together. What if our kids going to grow up to be? They're going to grow up to be challenged because you want to leave your husband. Do you have somebody else? I mean, they cheating all day. They cheat, come home late. They tell you at work, you call, they ain't nowhere near work. Come on here. And then somebody tell you, oh, I saw your husband at a restaurant. You ask him, where you at the restaurant? No, well, Mickey was there. And Mickey said she saw you. Mickey ain't seen me in no restaurant. You know, Mickey never liked me anyway. And Mickey was the one who was wild about you. And Mickey never liked me anyway. But you have a tendency to believe everybody above me. See, this is why we're not working. See, all of these things, gaslighting, that gaslighted Hoover, and then that gaslighting to make you stay, to make you be with them. They always telling you the guilt, making you feel shame. And they use shame when they gaslight. And I mean, you're about to lose your mind. They tell you, you know, in 1944, they had a movie, and that movie was called Gaslight. And he would turn the lights off and down. She said, the lights going down? And he would say, no, they didn't go down. And she looking at the lights and everything down. Then he would go to the basement, turn everything up. Then she would put some down and it would come up missing. And that's the way the narcissist does. The narcissist would tell you, I don't want to be touched tonight. Leave me alone. Go to sleep. And then you'll wake up in the morning. I tried to come to you and you told me no. And I mean, who gonna know whether I said no or not? I'm sleeping and slobbing, so who gonna know? And then he tell you, I came to you and you turned me down. You don't have an iota of a memory that you even barked during the night. But he's telling you, you turned me away. You gotta be cheating. You like, I am not cheating. I promise. And then he do that fake tear, that fake cry, like he's really hurt, really disturbed. Walk out the door, and then you run behind him. He gets in the car and pull off. And then he call you and say, baby, I don't know what's wrong. What have I done? I'm trying to do everything right. I'm messing up. I gotta go. And then you know where he go? He go to another supply and spend time with her, because now you won't harass him. You too afraid to say something because you've been gaslighted. And this gaslighting is the number one tool that they want to use. Sociopaths, psychopaths, they love it. Narcissists love to gaslight, because there's nothing like gaslighting that will make you doubt your sanity. And many people have literally lost their mind behind someone that they love, that told them things that never happened, told them people said things they never said, told them things was done by their family. Their family don't know anything about it. Gaslighting is very dangerous. Don't play with this. You can never get them to believe it. You can talk and say, we're going to talk about that word salad. We're going to talk about language confusion. We're going to talk about language diversion. We're going to talk about these things, because the narcissist uses all of them. And many of you that are listening under the sound of my voice, some of you are going through it right now. You're going through gaslighting right now. You're going through conversation diversion. You're going through word salad. You're going through the confusion. You're going through mass destruction in your mind. You look in the mirror and you're saying, who are you? I don't even know who you are anymore. Who are you? Where am I? Where's the person I used to know? The person is lost, and you cry and you cry and you cry and you go through it. And next thing you know, 1 year, 5 years, 15 years, the kids are gone. You're still there. He's still there. He's discarded, countless times. You lost count because you know he's coming back home. He know he's coming back home. Why? It's easier to stay with you and to cheat than to get rid of you. But some narcissists do, and they look for another primal supply. But if you give good fuel, a lot of times the narcissists, whether through shame and they don't want nobody to know that they divorced, they want people to think they can keep a relationship and keep that relationship. You know, I heard a story about Tom Jones, who was a singer, you know, and his wife stayed with him until his death. And he had 250 women sometime in a month. He said 250 women in 1 month. He would never take his wife with him. He will always come home. And when he came home, she will always take him back. She will always receive him. And what he said is he regret that now. Did he regret the love of her, or did he regret the fuel of her? See, that's why you have to know the difference. You have to know. You have to know. And there's a documentary on it. And he said these words. Look, gaslighting is dangerous. Once you know something, write it down. If that's what you have to do, write it down. If you need to write it down to remember it, write it down and remember it. And when you remember, let nobody, nowhere, at any time change your truth. Because their confidence is going to win out here. If you lack confidence, you will be a victim. The predator can smell it. Don't be afraid. When you know the truth, suffer the loss rather than compromise your truth. Because one thing about it, when you don't compromise your truth, you will always have your confidence. That is segment one on gaslighting. There's so much that we can say because it's a formidable tool. I want to talk to you about the new techniques that the narcissist is using. As we begin to go through this, we're going to strengthen you, and prayerfully, you will rise up. Those of you who have been victims of gaslighting, even if you're on medication, don't be over medicated, because sometimes the prognosis can be strenuous when the doctor really don't know what to do or how to do. Always get a second opinion. Always. If the medicine is making you sick, the medicine got these side effects that is destroying your day, destroying who you are, and you're sleeping all the time, because most of them just make you sleep, and you're sleeping so hard until it's dangerous for your children, and you can't cook because your reason and your sensibility is distorted through those medications, just so you can have a good coping mechanism. You have to consider the options. You may need some help. Get someone that you can trust to help you. Talk to your doctors about different medications that doesn't that immobilize you and paralyze you. Get those who are knowledgeable of trauma. And once you are gaslighted, don't, don't, don't compromise. You did see what you saw. You did hear what you heard. And it was written. You can't find the paperwork, but it was written. You read it. Stop doubting yourself. You are very sane. But if you don't get some help, they're going to override, overload, and transcribe. And all of it is a lie. Because if anyone is sane, it's you. If anyone saw the truth, know the truth, it's you. Your mind is strong. Your constitution is strong. And you can do this. And you can make it through this. Nothing is impossible for you, girl, guy. Get up. Write it down. Read it. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself, I'm not crazy. I'm very wise. I saw what I saw. I have it here. Date it and time it. When you date it and time it, it have more prominence because it happened on this day at this time. So how can I be wrong? You're not. So I pray that you've enjoyed this video on gaslighting and that it helped you. Leave a comment at the bottom of the video. Write me, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. I will love to hear from you. I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper. And remember, winners never quit and quitters never win. And you know what? We always are good winners. Warrior, get up again. You are not wrong. I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. God bless.